$90 million. That's right, this is worth over $90 million. About a month and a half ago, when those banks went broke overseas, this was worth $101 million. Now, just sitting there, huh? Too bad the security feature is in its weight. The 1 ton coin, nobody's picking that up and walking out with it. And just to make sure it's very safe, every afternoon we stop it, we lower it down into this vault here, and we close this vault up. And you know why we do that? Because we don't want George Clooney and the Ocean's 11 guys in here to steal our coin back and make a great movie. Imagine trying to steal the world's biggest gold coin, Ocean's 18. The melt house is part of the refining department. When they built this facility, it was completed in 1899, it was not in the Perth city, it was outside of the city. But as the city grew and grew, we became part of the city. By 1990, the refining department became way too small for our requirements, because these days we can refine in excess of 800 tonnes of gold and 1,000 tonnes of silver annually. Imagine all those trucks coming into the city. So in 1990, they removed the refinery off-site to a very strategic location next to Perth Airport. Very strategic because a lot of that precious metals comes in on planes, we refine it and we send it back out to the owner on planes. What the owners don't want, we buy, we bring back here, we take it in the back, and this is where we make the bullion bars, the bullion coins, as well as the proof coins here on site. Now back in the day when this was a working melt house, when they used to bring the gold and the precious metals, melt them down and turn them into a gold bar, this room alone across the back wall had 15 gas-fired furnaces. They removed these in 1990, they gave them a quick clean, and they found in excess of $250,000 worth of gold residue in those furnaces. In today's money, that's about $3.5 million. And this room has sat empty for a few years, and they said, hey, let's turn this into a theatre. There's one problem. Decades and decades of soot building up on that ceiling. Over 91 years of soot up there. So before they turned it into the theatre, they sent someone up there with a wide brush. That person cleaned off all the soot. They didn't throw it away. They put that into buckets. They sent that to the refinery. $22,000 worth of gold residue. Bit of gold everywhere. Start off with the seats, folks. You never know what you're going to pick up. There's gold in and around us. Yes, in and around us. Not only gold, we have other metals in us. We have iron, we have magnesium, and yes, we all have gold inside of us. Each human has between 0.2 to 0.5 milligrams of gold, mainly floating through their bloodstream. That is less than 10 cents worth. Not worth going to jail over, okay, folks? Anyway, they reckon in a lifetime, most of it comes out of your toenails. Start collecting toenails. Now, you don't want to do that, not for 10 cents worth. So back in the day, what they used to do is they used to bring in the gold, they used to melt it down and turn it into a gold bar. But that's done in the refinery. But what I did this morning is I walked into the vault, and in the vault there was a gold bar. That gold bar was a very similar shape and size to this metal bar. That gold bar was 200 troy ounces, which is 6.2 kilos. It had a minimum gold purity of 99.99%, which is 24 carat. This morning, while this gas-fired furnace was off and the lid was up, I grabbed one of these. This is a crucible. I'll talk about these a bit later. I placed the crucible inside the furnace. I put the gold bar inside that crucible. I closed the lid. I turned on the gas. This is operating at 1,200 degrees Celsius. Your home oven is about 220 to 250 degrees. Gold's melting point is below 1,200 degrees. Gold's melting point is 1,063.7. It will melt in here, it's not going to melt in your home oven. It takes about 45 minutes to 1 hour for that gold to go from a solid bar into a liquid state. Inside this furnace, sitting inside that crucible, is 6.2 kilos of molten gold, or liquid gold. In a moment, I'm going to put on my visor. I will turn off the lights. I will turn off the gas. I'll move across to the furnace, and I'll lift up this lid. I'll pick up these lifting tongs. Place it inside the middle of the furnace, and I will clamp onto that crucible inside. That crucible is glowing red hot. It has 6.2 kilos of liquid gold. I'll lift it out, turn around, and place it on this table. I'll exchange the lifting tongs, the pouring tongs with the pouring tongs. I can gold going into the mold has gone from a liquid state into a solid state. That's correct. 10 to 15 seconds has solidified. It's going to be way too hot for me to pick up, but it'll be a solid gold bar. I'll demonstrate a solid gold bar in this mold. Because it's very hot, I'll flip it out onto this tray, I'll move across here, and I'll plunge that gold bar, that red hot gold bar, into this tub of water to accelerate the cooling process. And when I pull it out, you'll see the transformation. Are you ready, folks? Yeah, thank you. That is no longer in a liquid state. It's already solidified. I am going to tilt that mold forward towards you to have a look at that red hot gold bar, and no liquid gold is going to be coming out of the sides. It's way too hot for me to pick up, so I'm going to flip it out on this tray in a moment, and I'll move the tray across to the tub of water. You're probably wondering what happens if I try to pick this up with the gloves. The gloves are catching on fire, so I won't be doing that. I'm going to put it in the water, let it cool down. Are you ready for a bit of excitement, folks?
Oh, that's cool.
This is real gold. This gold, all gold, is 4.6 billion years old. It was all created at the same time with the stars. It's come onto this earth. We'll remove the impurities and turn it into a gold bar. The bar itself is 4 years old. Its content is 4.6 billion years old. We melt, we mold, we cool that 4.6 billion year old gold between 4 to 7 times a day. It doesn't get harder or softer. It does not rust, corrode or tarnish. It has great integrity. 4.6 billion years old. I'll let that cool down, folks. Not only does this gold do a fantastic job, but these crucibles do a great job as well. This is not metal, this is clay. On the outside, it has that metal look because it has graphite. Graphite is the same thing they have in lead pencils. It's basically carbon and coal dust fused together. And the reason they put it on the outside, it has great thermal transference. Also has acts a bit like a lubricant because they use graphite for lubrication as well. These cost $110 new. They withstand temperatures in excess of 1,600 degrees. You saw how hot that was when I pulled it out. It was glowing red hot, a piece of clay. Unfortunately, unlike the gold, they do not maintain their integrity for billions of years. After a few weeks, they start to break down. After a few months, the crucibles start to look like this. No longer worth $110. Now worth between $500 and $1,000. As they break down, that liquid gold starts to seep into the walls. Yeah, sorry folks, we don't give these away. We don't throw them away either. We sell them for $1,200, but most of them end up at the refinery where they're crushed and that excess gold is extracted because this 6.2 kilo gold bar loses about 300 grams every year, so we bring that back and we top it up. And this is bar number 2. This is the second bar we've used in here. The first bar we used for 27 years. For 27 years, the same gold was melted, molded, cooled over 40,000 times without a sick day. Not bad, is it? 4 years ago, the gold pourer picks up the tongs, he places it into the furnace and he clamps onto this crucible. As he's lifting it out, it felt lighter. He looked down and the base came off. And all that liquid gold from bar number 1 just fell into the furnace. Yes, the show was over. Don't worry, everybody got a refund. Well, what we did is we let that cool down. A few days later, we went in there when it was cool enough and we peeled out the world's biggest and most expensive gold pancake. Unfortunately, we couldn't use that gold anymore. It had a lot of contaminants and impurities in it. We had to send bar number 1 across to the refinery to be refined, and hence that's why we had the second bar number 2 here. Cool enough to touch. I'll give it a quick dry on this very expensive towel. This towel also ends up at the refinery for them to extract the gold out of it. They might be sending me there as well. This is real gold. This is 24 karat gold. It has a minimum gold purity of 99.99%. It is 6.2 kilos, which is 200 troy ounces. This is worth over $500,000. Yeah, just sit back in your seats there. Sorry folks, I can't let you touch this because I'm not a very fast runner. That's why we have this security officer outside. Yeah, he's standing outside, he's keeping an eye on us. Like, you can't touch this one, but directly opposite. That room directly opposite that is a historic vault. There's another little doorway in there with a glass panel that's got a hole in it. You can put your hand through that hole and you can pick up the big brother. That gold bar you can pick up is 12.4 kilos.
That's what the love of money does.